So, good morning, students. This is Arvind, Department of Triple E, Assistant Professor DBSIT Kavali. So, in the previous sessions, I discussed about synchronous generators concept. So, in the synchronous generators, I discussed about introduction about synchronous generator and difference between DC generator and alternators. And next, some introduction topics is also there. Those are synchronous speed, frequency in induced EMF, and some electrical and mechanical degrees of an alternator, and some working principle of alternator and construction details of alternator. And now in this class I am going to discuss some armature winding, what is meant by armature winding, and what are the different types of armature winding in alternators, and some armature winding terminologies. And now firstly I will go to armature windings of alternator. So in this one we have some terminologies in this armature winding of alternator. In that one, first one is conductor. So what is meant by conductor? The part of the wire which is under the influence of magnetic field. Okay, the part of the wire which is under the influence of magnetic field, and in which the EMF is induced, and in which the EMF is induced is called conductor. Okay, this is the basic definition. Okay, this is the basic definition of the conductor, the part of the wire which is under the influence of magnetic field. So that means whenever we place a conductor between the two poles, that is two magnets, there is some magnetic field is occurred. So when the conductor is moving, so in this one, the flux lines are cutting perpendicular to the flux lines. It will cut the flux, and then EMF is induced in the conductor. So that is the main thing. So here the part of the wire, that is nothing but a conductor, okay, which is under the influence of magnetic field. So that is under the influence of magnetic field, and in which the EMF is induced is called conductor. Okay. Next one is turn. So turn means a conductor in one slot when connected to conductor in another slot. So if you see the first diagram, A diagram, so in this one I am taking two slots. Okay, this one is one slot and this one is one slot. And in this one I am taking two conductors. In one slot I am taking one conductor, and in another slot I am taking one conductor. So those conductors are in a circular shape. Okay, if you observe the diagram, two circular shapes is also there. So these two are the conductors. So here if you observe the diagram, so here a conductor, that means in slot one conductor is there. So this conductor in one slot when connected to conductor, that is a slot 2 conductor. In slot 2 we have one conductor. So here one conductor in slot 1 connected to conductor in another slot. Okay, one conductor in slot 1 is connected to the another conductor in slot 2 is called turn. Okay. So that means two conductors constitute a turn. Okay, simply says two conductors constitute a turn. If you see this diagram, or if you observe this diagram, you will know what is meant by turn. Okay, so here we have multiple turn. So we have multiple turn or single turn also there. I will discuss this one. Next, if you so we have So this is a multi-turn coil. Okay, this is the multi-turn. So if you observe this diagram, two slots is present. Okay, two slots is present. So here in this case, I am taking conductors. So these are the coils are nothing but conductors. So this is the conductor 1, this is the conductor 2. Here I am taking the turn. That means as there are number of turns. If you see this diagram, there are number of turns there. So here we have only one turn. Okay, but here in this diagram we have so many turns. Okay, so that means coil means as there are number of turns, as there are number of turns. Okay, the number of turns grouped together is called multi-turn coil. Okay, so what is meant by coil? As there are number of turns. Okay, if you observe the B diagram, here we have number of turns. So many turns is there. Okay, here in this one, the number of turns are grouped together. Here, the number of turns are grouped together. So then it is called as a multi-turn coil. Okay. Next, a coil consists of single turn. So if the coil consists of single turn, it is called single turn coil. At the same time, similarly, if a coil consists of multiple turns, then it is called as a multi-turn coil, multiple turn coil. Okay. So this is the definition for coil and single turn coil and multi-turn coil. And next, I am taking the coil side. Actually, I am not displayed here. So we have coil side. So that means coil consists of many turns. If you observe the second diagram, here we have coil consists of many turns. So these are the turns. Okay, these are the turns. So here the part of the coil in each slot is called coil side. Okay. So a part of the coil in each slot is called coil side. Okay. Coil consists of many turns. Coil consists of many turns. So as part of the coil in each slot. So this is the coil side. This is another coil side. If I am taking two conductors here, so this is the one coil side and this is one coil side. These are present in slots. Okay. So if you observe the second diagram, that is B diagram, we have here I mentioned coil side 1 and coil side 2. So coil consists of many turns. Coils consists of many turns. Here the part of the coil in each slot. The part of the coil, this is the part of the coil. So the part of the coil in each slot is called coil side of a coil. Okay. So this is the explanation for the coil and coil side. And next one, pole pitch. So this one is very important topic. Pole pitch, slot angles. These are the basic terminologies of the armature winding. So if you go to pole pitch, so in this one, what is meant by pole pitch? So pole pitch is defined as it is the ratio of number of slots per pole. Number of slots per pole. It is denoted by the letter N, small n. Okay, pole pitch is defined as it is the ratio of number of slots per pole. Number of slots per pole, and is denoted by the letter N. Okay, so here I am taking the equation from that is pole pitch is equal to number of slots by number of poles. It is the ratio of number of slots per pole. Okay, number of slots per pole. So I am taking one example. So that is, so if you have the pole pitch, that is, so for one rotation of the conductor we have two poles are reasonable for 360 degrees electrical degrees. Okay, so for one rotation of conductor, so I am rotating the conductor for one revolution under the two poles. Okay, under the two poles. Okay, under the two poles. So these are responsible for 360 electrical degrees EM. Okay, 360 electrical EMF. So here, if you have four poles present, so I already said that in the electrical or mechanical degrees concept. So if you take the two poles, it is equal to the 360 electrical degrees under one cycle. Okay, under one cycle. So here also I am taking the two poles. Here it is producing 360 degrees, 360 electrical degrees, and now I am taking four poles. So here I am taking four poles. So these are responsible for 720 electrical degrees. 720 electrical degrees. Okay. Therefore, one pole is responsible for 180 degree electrical. Okay. If you observe that concept, so if you have one pole, so one pole is responsible for 180 electrical. Two poles are responsible for 360 electrical degrees. Or similarly, four poles are responsible for 720 electrical degrees. Okay. So 180 electrical degrees is called one pole pitch. So please listen carefully. Here 180 electrical degrees is called one pole pitch. So please note this point. So here 180 degree electrical is called one pole pitch. Okay. So that means pole pitch is equal to number of slots per pole. So that is equal to 180 electrical degrees. Okay. Understand? So next, for example, if you consider two poles. So if you have the paper, note this one. Okay. For example, I am considering two poles. Okay, and 18 slots. Two poles and 18, 18 slots armature of an alternator under one pole. So under one pole there are 9 slots. So pole pitch is 9 slots, that is 180 electrical degrees. Okay. So for example, I am taking the two poles. That means under two poles we have 18 slots of armature winding. Okay. So based on that one we have one pole, that is there are 9 slots per pole. Okay. That means I am taking the two poles, that is under one pole we have 9 slots. So here I am taking totally two poles, that means totally 18 slots. Okay. That means here we have
Under one pole we have 9 slots, so pole pitch is 180 electrical degrees. Okay, that means why I am taking 180 electrical degrees means here I am taking one pole. So if we take two poles, we have 80 slots. That means we have how many electrical degrees? 360 electrical degrees. Two poles. Okay, 360 electrical degrees. So that means these 9 slots are responsible. These 9 slots are responsible to produce a phase shift. That means our difference 180 degrees. Okay, 180 degrees between the EMF induced in different conductors. EMF induced in different conductors. That is the explanation for pole pitch. Okay, next one, slot angle. This is also very important one. Slot angle. So here the slot angle. Here the slot angle. The phase difference contributed by one slot in electrical degrees is called slot angle. The phase difference contributed by one slot. Okay, the phase difference contributed by one slot in electrical degrees is called slot angle. Okay, the phase difference contributed by one slot in electrical degrees is called slot angle. It is denoted by the letter beta. It is denoted by the letter beta. So that means slot angle is equal to 180 by N. So 180, this is the phase difference. 180 is the phase difference and N is the pole pitch. N is the pole pitch. So that is pole pitch means it is the ratio of number of slots per pole. It is the ratio of number of slots per pole. That is slot angle beta is equal to 180 by N. 180 by N. This is the, please note this formula also. Slot angle beta is equal to 180 by N. So these all are useful in the coming concepts and coming problems also. We are going to discuss some problems based on these things. So at that point, at that time, these are very important. Okay, pole pitch, slot angles. Okay, and next one. So here I am taking one example. Here I am taking one example. Here I am taking the example is for two pole 18 slots armature. Okay, for two pole here I am taking the poles is 2 and I am taking armature slots is 18. The slot angle beta is equal to 180 by N. So we already know that the formula of slot angle beta is equal to 180 by N. So here we have to calculate the N, that is number of slots per pole. Okay. So in the given problem, in the given example, number of slots, how many number of slots is there? 18. So that is we know that N is equal to formula is number of slots per pole. Here N is equal to number of slots means 18 by number of poles. How many number of poles is there? 2. That is N is equal to 18 by 2. That is N is equal to 9. That is pole pitch is equal to 9. Okay, pole pitch is equal to 9. Next, we have the slot angle beta is equal to 180 by N formula. So in the N, I am taking 9. Okay, I am taking 9. So that is 180 by N. That is equal to beta is equal to how many degrees? 20 degrees. So this is a slot angle for the given problem. So beta is equal to 20 degrees. Okay. Next, here the types of armature winding. This is also very important concept. Types of armature winding. Actually, the armature winding is classified into different types. Okay, the armature winding is classified into different types. In those stuff we have single layer and double layer winding, single layer and double layer winding, and next one is full pitch and short pitch winding, full pitch and short pitch winding, and next one is concentrated and distributed winding, concentrated and distributed winding. Okay. So these are the different types of windings available in the armature winding, available for the armature winding. So we will discuss one by one. So firstly, I am discussing the single layer winding. Okay, single layer winding. Okay, so what is meant by single layer winding? If a slot consists of only one coil, if a slot consists of only one coil side. So if you observe this diagram, so I am taking one slot and I am taking one conductor. So this rectangular, this circular shape is known as a conductor, and this half square shape is called as a slot. Okay, so here I am taking, this is the coil side. Okay, this is coil side. So that means if a slot consists of only one coil side, then the winding is called single layer winding. Okay, if a slot consists of only one coil side. So what is meant by coil side? So I already discussed. What is meant by coil side? So the part of the coil in each slot is called coil side. The part of the coil in each slot is called coil side of the coil. Okay, that means if in this one, if a slot consists of only one coil side, then the winding is called single layer winding. Okay, so here in this one, a lot of space gets wasted in single layer winding. This is the disadvantage of the single layer winding. Here lot of space is gets wasted. Okay, and next I am going to double layer winding. Okay, so double layer winding. So here, when there are two coil sides. So in the previous case I am taking, if a slot consists of only one coil side, that is single layer winding. But here I am taking when there are two coil sides are placed in one slot. So one is at the bottom and one is at the top, is called double layer winding. Okay, so if you see this diagram, you will clearly understand. So I am taking one slot. This is one slot, but here I am taking two conductors. One is at the top and one is at the bottom. Okay, so here we have two coil sides. Okay, here we have two coil sides. So that means when there are two coil sides, placed in one slot. So this is one slot. Okay, one slot, one at the bottom, this one, and one at the top, this one. Okay, then the winding is called double layer winding. Here in this case, a lot of space is used. So a lot of space is used in double layer winding. So that's why we are preferring double layer winding. In the compared to the single layer winding, we will prefer double layer winding only, because of here lot of space is used. In the single layer winding, the lot of space is wasted. Okay, understand this one? Single layer and double layer winding. And next one, full pitch. So full pitch winding. So that means if a coil side in one slot, okay, if a coil side in one slot is connected to a coil side in another slot. Okay, if a coil side in one slot is connected to a coil side in another slot, that means here we are taking two slots and two conductors. Okay, two slots and two conductors. Okay, which is one pole pitch away from the first slot. So which is one pole pitch away from the first slot. Here the pole pitch means what? So what is meant by pole pitch? So I already discussed that one. That is 180 electrical degrees. 180 electrical degrees are the definition of pole pitch is, it is defined as, it is the ratio of number of slots per pole. Okay, pole pitch is nothing but it is the ratio of number of slots per pole. Okay, that is nothing but that is equal to 180 electrical degrees. 180 electrical degrees. So here in this one, if a coil side in one slot is connected to a coil side in another slot, which is one pole pitch away from the first slot, then the winding is called full pitch winding. Okay, here, and the coil is called full pitched coil. If you have the winding, that is called as a full pitch winding. If you have the coil, that one is called as full pitched coil. Okay, so if you see this diagram, you will understand. So here I am taking two slots, slot number 1 and slot number 2. So slot number 2. So if you take this slot number as n, and if you take this slot number as n plus 1, that is slot number is n plus 1. So this is the n slots per pole. We have n slots per pole. So these are the turns. So these are the turns we have. So what is meant by full pitch? So that means if a coil side in one slot, so this one. Okay, this one is coil side. Okay, this one is coil side, and this is also one coil side. So that means if a coil side in one slot is connected to coil side in another slot, so this one. So this coil side is connected to the coil side in another slot. Okay, so that is one pole pitch. That is one pole pitch away from the first slot. So this is the first slot, and these are the 180 electrical degrees. This is 180 electrical degrees. That means which is one pole pitch away from the first slot, away from the first slot. Then the winding is called full pitch winding, and the coil is called full pitched coil. So for example, if you take two pole, okay, for example, if you take two pole, If you have the paper, please note this. So if you have two poles, okay, here I am taking the number of poles is 2 and 18 slots. 18 slots. I am taking 18 slots and two poles. So here the pole pitch, what is meant by pole pitch? N is equal to number of slots per pole. Here the number of slots is 18 and poles is 2. That is 18 by 2. How many slots we have? 9 slots. Okay, n is equal to 9. N is equal to 9. That is pole pitch is 9. So if coil side in slot 1, so that is this one. Okay, if coil side in slot 1 is connected to coil side in slot number 10. So that means we have 10 slots. Okay, suppose we have the 10 slots. Okay, but here we have the 9 slots only. Assume. Okay, assume that we have 10 slots, but here we have only 9 slots. That means such that two slots, that is number 1 and number 10, are one pole pitch are 9 slots are 180 electrical degrees. Okay, understand? I am taking two poles. Okay, and 18 slots. That means what is meant by pole pitch? Pole pitch is equal to 180 by pole pitch is equal to number of slots per pole. So that is equal to number of poles is how many? 2. Number of poles is 2 and slots is 18. That is n is equal to number of slots is 18 by number of poles 2, that is equal to 9 slots. That means n is equal to 9. So if the coil side in slot 1 is connected to coil side in slot number 10. Okay. That means here we have slot 1 and here we have n plus 1, that is 9 plus 1, that is 10. That means we have 10 slots, but here the two slots number 1 and number 10 are one pole pitch. The slot number 1 and slot number 10 are one pole pitch are 9 slots at 180 electrical degrees. So I already said that one pole pitch is equal to 180 electrical degrees. Okay. So that's why the coil is called full pitched coil. Okay, understand? Next one, coil span. Coil span. What is meant by coil span? So here it is the distance between two coil sides of a coil. It is the distance between two coil sides. That is this. So this one is one coil side and this one is one coil side. The difference between these two coil sides. So this one, the difference between two coil sides is called coil span. Okay. Or one more definition is also there for coil span. Here the coil span is defined as the peripheral distance between two sides of a coil. The peripheral distance between two sides of a coil measured in term of the number of armature slots between them. So that means after placing one side of the coil in a particular slot. So after placing one side of the coil in a particular slot. So after that, after how many consecutive slots we have, then the other side of the same coil is placed on the armature. Okay, this number is known as coil span. Okay, we have two definitions for coil span. One is it is the distance between two coil sides of a coil. Okay, and it is also expressed in terms of number of slots or electrical degrees. So another definition is also there. So coil span one more definition is there for coil span, that is the peripheral distance between two coil sides, nothing but the distance between two coil sides. So measured in terms of the number of armature slots between them. So in terms of the number of armature slots between them, that means after placing one side of the coil in a particular slot, that is one slot. So after how many consecutive slots the other side of the coil is placed. That means the distance between the two slots or two coil sides is called coil span. Okay. So if you see this, so this is one coil and this is one coil, this is one coil side and this is another coil side. So the distance between these two coil sides, we are known as a coil span. Okay, we are known as a coil span. Okay. So if you see this diagram, here we have north pole and south pole, two poles and two coil sides, that is coil side 1, coil side 2. So in between we have number of turns. Okay, number of turns. Here the distance between the coil side in one slot and the coil side in another slot is called coil span. This is for single turn coil and this is for multi turn coil. Okay. So this green color arrow mark gives the indicates the coil span in this diagram. Okay. Next we have short pitch coil. Next we have short pitch coil. So what is meant by short pitch coil? That is, if the coil span is slightly less than one pole pitch. If the coil span is slightly less than one pole pitch, that is less than 180 degrees. So actually we know that one pole pitch is equal to 180 electrical degrees. But here, if the coil span is slightly less than one pole pitch, that is less. One pole pitch that is less than 180 degrees, then the winding is called as short pitch winding. Okay. Next, and the coils are called short pitch coil or fractional pitched coil. Okay. So if you see this diagram, you will understand. So this is slot 1 and slot. This is, we have 10 slots, that is slot 1 to slot 10. Okay. Here I am putting 3 conductors. So from slot 1 to slot 10 we have 2 conductors, and slot 1 to in slot 10 we have 2 conductors. But here, if you have the slot 1 to slot 10, we have 180 electrical degrees. Okay. But here, this is a short by one slot. That is, it is not connected to slot 1 to slot 10. It is connected to slot 1 to slot 9 only. So if you observe this diagram, we have 10 slots. But here, the slot 1 is connected to slot 9. So that is, coil span is less than 180 degrees. If the slot number 1 is connected to slot 10, that is the full pitched coil. Okay. So it is equal to 180 electrical degrees. But here, the slot number 1 is connected to slot number 9 only. It is not connected to slot number 10. That is one pole pitch away from the main one. That is, here the coil span is less than 180 degrees. That is short by one slot. So this is called as short pitched coil. Okay. So for example, same, we are taking 18 slots and 2 poles. Okay. That means here a coil side in slot 1 to slot number 10. Here I am connecting the alternator or conductor to the slot number 1 to slot number 10. It is connected to a coil side in slot number 9, but it is connected to a coil slot number 9 or slot number 8. So then the coil is called short pitched coil and the winding is called short pitched. That means we have to connect the conductor to a slot number 1 to slot number 10, but we have less than 180 degrees angle. That means we are connecting to that instead of number 10, I am connecting the conductor to the slot number 9. That is, it is a one pole pitch away from this. That one, here we have less than 180 degrees. Coil span is less than 180. That is short by one slot. Okay. So here the advantage of short pitch winding. So here the length required for end connections of the coil is less. Okay, this is the one advantage of short pitch winding. The length required for end connections, of the coil is less. And next thing, here in this one, the short pitching eliminates the high frequency harmonics. Short pitching eliminates the high frequency harmonics. Hence, waveform of an induced EMF is more sinusoidal. Why? Because short pitched winding eliminates the high frequency harmonics. Okay. Next, high frequency harmonics gets eliminated. We already know that. Hence, eddy current and hysteresis losses which depend upon frequency also get eliminated. Okay. If the high frequency harmonics is eliminated, that means based on that one, eddy current and hysteresis losses will also eliminated. And less copper is required, hence it is economical. Here we have the copper material, but here we are using the less copper. That means it is economical. Okay. By using this, the efficiency increases due to short pitching. Okay, the efficiency increases due to short pitching. Next, concentrated winding. Next one is concentrated winding. This is another type of armature winding. So concentrated winding. Actually, in three-phase alternators, there are 3 different sets of windings. You already know that. So in three-phase alternators, there are 3 sets of windings, each for a phase. Okay, Per phase we have three different set of windings. Okay, so depending upon total number of slots and number of poles, we have certain slots per phase. Okay, we have certain slots per phase available under each pole. Okay, so in three phase alternators there are three different sets of windings. So each per a phase, so depending upon total number of slots and number of poles, we have certain slots per phase available under each pole. This is nothing but M. So that is M is equal to number of slots per pole per phase. Okay, number of slots per pole per phase. So you already know that number of slots per pole is nothing but N, or nothing but pole pitch. That is indicated with the letter N. That is M is equal to number of slots per pole. In the number of slots per pole place, I am taking N. That is N by number of phases. So where M is equal to number of slots per pole per phase, that is M is equal to N by 3. So here we have phases is 3. That is I am taking M is equal to N by 3. Okay. So for example, I am taking 18 slots, 2 pole alternator. Here N is equal to 18 by 2. That is N is equal to what is meant by N? That is the pole pitch, that is equal to number of slots per pole. Here I am taking 18 slots, that is N is equal to 18 by number of poles is 2, that is we have 9 slots. So from this one we are calculating number of slots per pole per phase. So M is equal to N by 3. You know that this formula M is equal to N by 3. You have to note this point also. M is equal to N by 3. So here we have N value is 9. So substituting N value in this formula, that is equal to N by 3. That is the M value is 3. That is, so we have 3 slots per pole per phase are available. Okay, from this one we have 3 slots per pole per phase are available. This is one, and next one is, so if you take, let X number of conductors per phase. So if you take X number of conductors per phase are to be placed into the one pole. Okay, and we have 3 slots per pole per phase are available. That means if all X conductors per phase, are placed in one slot, okay, are placed in one slot, keeping 2 remaining slots per pole per phase are empty. Keeping 2 remaining slots per pole per phase are empty, then the winding is called concentrated winding. So actually we are taking X number of conductors per phase. Okay, these are placed into one pole. Okay, in that one we have 3 slots per pole per phase, but I am placing the total X number of conductors per phase are placed in one slot only. Actually we have 3 slots. Okay, actually we have 3 slots, but I am placing all X conductors per phase in one slot, but and remaining 2 slots are empty. Okay, so that means if all X conductors per phase are placed in one slot, keeping 2 remaining slots per pole per phase are empty, then the winding is called concentrated winding. Okay, next one, distributed winding. So in distributed type of windings, all the coils belonging to a phase, okay, all the coils belonging to a phase are distributed over the M slot per phase under every pole. Okay, actually in the distributed type of windings, all the coils belong to a one phase. Okay, all the coils belonging to a phase, these are distributed over the M slot per phase, M slot per phase under every pole. That means distributed winding makes the waveform of the induced EMF more sinusoidal in nature. So distributed winding makes the waveform of the induced EMF more sinusoidal in nature. Okay. So actually you have one note point. So in general, double layer, short pitched and distributed type of armature windings is preferred for the alternators. So up to now I am discussing about some single layer, double layer windings. Okay. Next, short pitched and full pitched windings. Okay, and next concentrated and distributed windings. Among those we have generally double layer, short pitched and distributed type of armature winding is preferred for the alternators. Okay, and next we have integral slot winding. Okay, integral slot winding. So what is meant by integral slot winding? So the value of slots per pole per phase decides the value of slots per pole per phase, that is M. Okay, the value of M decides the class of the winding. So that means when the value of m is an integer. When the value of m is an integer, then the winding is called integer winding or integral winding. Okay. So if you see this diagram, we have two groups, R1 and R2. Okay. We have slots, slot 1, slot 2. Okay. So these are connected like this. Okay. These are connected one by one. So if the value of m is an integer, then the winding is called integer winding. Okay. Next, fractional slot winding. So in this one, the winding in which number of slots per pole per phase, that is nothing but m. Okay, is a fractional number, then it is called fractional slot winding. Okay. So the winding in which number of slots per pole per phase is a fractional number, then it is called fractional slot winding. So actually in this type of windings, the number of slots S, okay, the number of slots S must be divisible by 3, must be divisible by 3. So thus per phase is integer, which is necessary to obtain symmetrical three-phase winding. Okay. Next, but slots per pole and slots per pole per phase both are fractional. Okay, the winding in which m number is a fractional, then it is called as fractional slot winding. Okay, so these are the different types of armature windings and different terminologies we used in the armature winding. Okay, thank you.